to meet my ex. I need to look amazing without trying too hard. And
oh, that one.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel La Fraise. I'm Noémie, I'm a student in costume making here in Brussels, and this week I'm making a dress for my wife. She requested the Brise dress from Core Fabric. I always mix them up because now there's like Core Fabric and they have a couple of patterns, and there's Closet Core and they're not the same. It's kind of confusing, but this one is from Core Fabrics and they have released the Brise dress, which really looks like the viral Sezane dress. So you might recognize that I have mentioned that dress in my I Find Any Patterns For You video. The little reenactment at the start was from that. It's actually from watching that video that Francesca was like, oh, I would like that dress. So my wife requested this. We went to buy the fabric for her. Otherwise, I have made a size S from Francesca with the long length. I kept the original length of the dress. Oh guys, I cut the dress and I am traumatized. This was awful. I want to be positive, but really as I finished cutting this, I had to go on the Discord to get a little bit of like positive thoughts from people on there. Because I cut this so badly, I now think I should have projected from higher up in a way that I could see the entire piece together, because what happened is that the cutting plan is planned for a fabric that has a selvage of 150 centimeters and mine had 145. It's normally like not a big deal, like the 5 centimeters difference, like they generally account for that. Here I really needed that, and you have to picture the back is cut. It basically looks like a normal t-shirt but long, but the front you have the bottom of the dress, and then it kind of, the pieces kind of all goes like this to be able to do the magic with the tie front and everything. But so actually I started, so in both cases I started with the back, I cut the top of the back, and then I shuffled the projection, shuffled everything on my mat and cut the bottom. That went well. And then I did the top and I kind of saw that it was well placed, thought it was well placed. I cut the top and then I shuffle everything, and then I realize that if I keep going the skirt where I have positioned it, oh it hurts, that the skirt would be, you know, if the skirt is supposed to be here, I would have cut there, and so some is no longer on the fabric and everything. So I have cut the skirt a bit like this so that it would rematch on the fabric, and either this is going to work because the jersey gods are going to make it all click and it's going to be fine, or this is going to be a disaster. It also maybe if I separate the top and the skirt, that would be able, you know, if I like just cut across and do the top and the skirt separately, I could like re-straighten this. I have no clue. At this point, I'm going to sew it up. I'm pretty stressed, like cutting it. I was not having fun, like really not having fun. But I'm doing it for Fran, and I tend to persevere a lot more for stuff for her because I want her to be happy and I want her to have the dress she wants. But it was pretty stressful, not a fun cut. I also, because of the short amount of fabric, I ended up cutting the sleeves on the cross grain. I didn't realize, like I did it on the cross grain. I did the first one not realizing, but then the second one I was like, well, my sleeves need to match. So I did the second one on the cross grain too. I think it's going to be fine because they're short sleeves. But yeah, I don't know. I think it was after all of the stress of the dress, I kind of, yeah, I probably didn't think well enough or look well enough. It was also pretty tricky because I couldn't find any way to cut those sleeves. Like I had so little fabric left. I had all of those weird shaped pieces. I'm seeing exactly the moment where I shuffled everything to make it fit. And I see exactly the moment in my head where I doomed myself to something that wouldn't fit. But yeah, I just didn't have a wide enough fabric for the size I was making. So first note, if you are making an S, so in my case for Francesca I'm making an S, which was the biggest size for that cutting plan, and you really need the 50 centimeters in this case, like the 45. It's not going to work without cheating like I have. So yeah, I hope it's going to be fine. I hope it's not going to be a total disaster. Let's just get on with it. Another quick note, so Francesca has quite broad shoulders. Often in ready-to-wear, what she does is that she buys a size up, but then it's silly because it's too big in the body so that it fits her shoulders. So what I did here is that I chose a t-shirt that we know fits her really well across her shoulders, and I laid it on the pattern piece and I lengthened the shoulders. So watch out, when you do this, you need to start from the center back, because depending on the length of the neckline, it could not match, but matching from the center back, I could see that I needed to add 3 centimeters in the shoulders. So this is what I did on both the front and the back. As the front, you cut both sides separately. I also measured and make sure that I traced them exactly the same so that it doesn't have a longer front on one side than the other. I literally traced with chalk over the projection, and I find that this worked pretty well. Now let's see how the final product turns out, but I hope it's going to be a success and that it's going to fit her nicely around the shoulder. If that works, at least I'm going to be happy. Okay, let's start sewing. You can tell I'm scared of the project because I am reading all of the instructions before starting, and this doesn't happen often. So the fact that I'm reading the whole thing shows that I'm threading cautiously. Okay, I'm feeling more confident. Maybe it's not justified and maybe it's going to be a disaster, but really, I just need to sew the sash thing, which is the very first step. I mean, I still need to add interfacing everywhere. Okay, that's still in the prep. The first sewing step is to do the sash. Once that is done, it's literally a t-shirt, and I've done 20 of those. So maybe this confidence is not justified, but I'm going to stay confident until proven otherwise. So first step, we're putting a knit tape on the shoulders, neckline, and the slits. I am very tempted to also put elastics in the shoulder, just because I'm doing the long version and it's going to be so much weight on those shoulders. So I might put the interfacing and the elastic and be a little bit wild. Now the annoying thing is that in Belgium it's really hard to find the knit tape that is in a roll. So I have a sheet of it, so I need to first cut everything into 1 centimeter strips. So that's going to be my first step. Just leaning you on my hot iron, nothing bad could happen. Great, Noémie. I've just sewn the sash, and I have to say it was really not that bad. I was so scared about doing it. I couldn't really visualize what was going on, and that really panicked me. And actually it was super straightforward, super simple. I'm like looking at the written instructions and the video, and there's no problem at all. And so, little proof, guys, sometimes you really can make anything. It's just in your head that there's panic. Now I'm going to show you what I was explaining earlier with the like funny side seams. This is where the real trouble might happen. If it does, the way it's cut, I do not think that I'll just be able to add a side seam here and correct it. I think that's not going to work, but if it's wrong, I think we're going to call this a toile. That's what a toile would have been for. By doing this toile, I'm learning all of the things and I could make the next one a lot better. I'm going to show you the issue with the waist. So visible and so ridiculous. So, oh my God, I'm feeling so stupid. This is the top and it's supposed to be in the middle of the skirt. But when I came to cut the skirt, I didn't have enough fabric left on the right hand side here because I was at the edge of my fabric. And so what I did is that I compensated by cutting more here. Do you think that once I sew the side seams, this will just even out with the magic of jersey and stretch? I mean, if it does, it's going to be pretty magical because right now this doesn't look like the right shape to put a person in. I might try to trim this a little bit and to make this less of a little teapot here. Like, I'm going to try to smoothen this line a little bit, and we're gonna pray that it works. But like, now that I have done this, I have sewn the sash. So basically I'm attaching the sash to the back now, and then after that's done, it's just a t-shirt. It's just a t-shirt, and I have done lots of those, and I can do this. So guys, hope is back. Maybe it's going to work. Let's see. I don't know if it helped a ton. I feel a little bit, so I've trimmed there, and I feel confident doing that because Francesca doesn't have like big hips or anything. So I think I was all right doing this, and hopefully that saved the dress. Oh my God, hope it works. You spotted the assistant. I really wanted to check how those shoulders were going because I added 3 centimeters to the shoulders, so that's quite a bit. And I made her try the dress on. I was like, you can't look, I just want to see how the shoulders are doing. So I kind of draped the dress on top of her. I was like, don't look at anything, just checked, and the shoulders were perfect. So I'm really happy that this worked out. It was already a first victory. I really didn't want Francesca to be able to see the dress before it was kind of like almost done. So I finished the sleeves fully. I attached the side up to the slit. I thought that she might want the slit longer than what they had planned in the pattern, but actually they have planned a really, really good length. So what was going to be a crucial moment in the making of this dress was putting it on her and checking that the dark secret, aka the fabric that's cut twisted, if that was going to work out or not. So I was really like, oh, I've been sewing all day, is it going to work? But when she tried the dress on, straight away she said,
I mean, this part goes out funny, no? Like here, it's wonky this side.
yeah.
It's like, neat.
So yeah, so the dark secret was not so hidden afterwards. The thing is, it did create a bump on the side of her. Now I am really lucky that she has very small hips and that she doesn't need all the volume that had been planned in there. So what I did is that I unpicked the side. I tried to kind of readjust it flat and to make her try a new version like that, but it didn't really work. It ended up being a lot easier to just put it back on her and then to see where the fabric would fall nicer and then to pin it. So that worked quite well, and now the dress looks pretty nice. Now the dark secret is not entirely solved. If you really look at the slit, you can see that there is that twisting happening. So one side shows more leg and one side is pulling more backwards. And she says that when she is in the dress, she can feel that it is twisted. Honestly, I think that for a dress that I wasn't even sure would work out at all because of that dark secret and that twist, I'm really happy with the final look. She'll definitely be able to wear it. If I make it again, I will not repeat the same mistake. So I feel like as a wearable toile, we're going to give it 10 out of 10. But as a garment in itself, it does have a little twist in the skirt. I'm really like, it's not perfect, but honestly, it works. And also dark secret, the sleeves are cut on the cross grain, but it doesn't really matter. Honestly, she can't feel it, you can't see it. So that is dark secret number 2, but I think it's totally fine. And I had no other way to cut those sleeves. So next time I would make this dress, I would, 1, make sure that my fabric is wide enough and take a little bit extra if it's not wide enough. And 2, for a plain fabric like this one, I think the way I would put the pattern pieces if I had to redo it, I'll put it on the screen, the way I try to put them following the plan and what happened with the fabric and the way I would put them next time if I had to redo it, because I think it would work a lot better. But obviously it's easy afterwards to be like, I should have done that, I should have projected from higher up to be able to see the full piece, I should have done this, I should have done that. Yeah, well, like, obviously hindsight is 2020. I think if I was to do it again for her, I might try to do some sort of small bust adjustment, because I find that you can see that there is quite a bit of extra fabric in the chest, but at the same time it's a t-shirt dress. It's kind of relaxed, so I think it's all right. So I will say I learned a lot doing this dress. I also realized that that front knot thing was nowhere near as stressful as I thought it was. I was really intimidated by this construction and it was totally fine. So I would say if you are tempted by making this dress, it was nowhere near as complicated as I thought. I really found cutting the dress the hardest part of the whole thing. Having done many t-shirts, I just thought that this dress was, except for the tie front, obviously, just a long t-shirt. And yeah, I'm really happy that Francesca likes the dress. She finds it very comfortable. I think it's going to be really great for traveling in Japan and to have something comfortable to wear. So very happy with the final result. Yes, it could be better. Yes, I have learned for next time, but overall, very happy with the pattern. And I have to say, when I started, I also didn't like that you don't have proper instructions. So what I have done is I've just made a PDF of the blog post where they explain everything, but I do like having a proper like instruction booklet. And when I started, I was like, oh, I don't have a booklet. I don't know if I can do with those like, you know, because when you take a website page and you make it into a PDF, it doesn't fall nicely. The layout is not ideal. And I feel like I was using that as a pretext to not start because I was a bit intimidated by the project, but actually it's totally fine. If you like having your booklet, do that, make a PDF out of the page. And it worked perfectly. The video on the YouTube was great, was super helpful. Really, I loved having both. I loved having the written way and the visual way. What I would do is I would read, watch, reread if needed, and then move on. And it worked perfectly. So I think the fact that they're providing a full-on video tutorial is brilliant. So it's funny because I started feeling pretty negative start of the sewing day. The cutting wasn't going well and I was feeling like the instructions were not working for me. In the end, I literally can't fold them. Oh, no, I can fold them. I have found a mistake. There is at least one place where the metrics is wrong. So it is originally written in inches and the metrics version isn't working out. So just be careful for that. Maybe double check it yourself. It's one place where it's like 1 inch and they said it was 3.8 centimeters. But I feel like when you are sewing it, you would see that something's off, but just to be careful, there's one mistake there, but like nothing major. Otherwise, I really can't fold them. I thought it was really well explained, easy to follow, a very enjoyable sew. Yeah, I'm very, very positive in the end and I thought it looked great. Great on Francesca. I also put it on to see, because originally I don't love the idea of a knit dress. I think it clings everywhere and that it wouldn't look great, but trying hers on, I was like, doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad. I think the fact that it has the tie that cinches you at the waist makes it relax like a t-shirt, but then still defines your waist and looks really good. So I'm lost for words. Just a brilliant, brilliant pattern, a brilliant make. If you are interested in making it, I can only encourage you to make it. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I shall leave you here. Thank you so much for everyone who's tipped me a coffee recently. It means a lot. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to come back for more. Don't forget that you can make anything and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!